Hi there, I'm Erin Chamberlain and I am a book consultant and editor, and I help coaches and consultants and mentors plan and write and publish business building books. And this is Stephanie.
Hi, and like Erin said, I am Stephanie and I'm a designer. I'm most specifically a Canva designer helping coaches like Erin plan out their 5-day challenge, 5-day sprint challenge as far as the visual content is concerned.
And Stephanie and I got together, back in September, I think, because I needed a facelift really for my visual identity. I wanted a logo, and then I was running a 5-day challenge and I thought, you know what, I'm doing this on the fly, but I could make it look so much better with somebody like Stephanie's help, and I wouldn't have to do it all myself. So I sent an email to Stephanie. I know I've known Stephanie from LinkedIn. So I reached out to Stephanie on LinkedIn and I said, I think I need to work with you because her package was perfect. And I was heading down this Canva hole. I don't know if any of you guys know the Canva hole, but I can do design stuff. I'm not super duper good at it, but I have my own version of Adobe InDesign. I work on illustrated nonfiction books. I know my way around design programs, but I didn't have the time, and I didn't think that I really had the skills that I needed to put together all of the visual identity that I needed for my challenge. So and I tried, I spent about half an hour trying to come up with some kind of logo, and it's like, no, this looks like an editor has decided to try her hand at design. And that wasn't the look I was going for. So I reached out to Stephanie. And then what happened after I did that, Stephanie?
Well, Erin, at the end of the day, I'm always hugely flattered when someone says to me, I think I need you, because, obviously you've known what I'm up to and what I do for quite some time. Otherwise, I don't think you'd have reached out. And at the end of the day, it's about visual content that I place out there on social media as well. And I'm confident in what I do. So you pretty much answered the question I wanted to ask you, why you wanted to reach out to me. And, yes, it does help. It does help. And I'm not saying that every single person who reaches out to a designer need to know the basics about design, because you just don't need to know the basics about design. But it certainly helped in your case. You knew what you wanted.
I had my color palette, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Which definitely did help a lot as well. And, being on brand is so much more than just having colors and just having fonts and having your logo. It's about your voice. And everybody knows that you've got such a very no-nonsense way of teaching people how to write and how to actually put their book together. So it made it a heck of a lot easier. So yes, when I sent you that first draft and you said to me, that's not what I wanted. Not that you knew what you wanted right there and then, but you had an idea that you didn't. That first draft is always that first hurdle that you have to get over. Wouldn't you agree with me?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I find with my clients as well. So I guess the thing is, I've been working with designers, for 20 years. So I know that when you send the manuscript and the images or the brief away to the designer, what you get back is just the first draft. It is the designer making visual your brief and them trying to understand as much as they can from words, and then you get it back and you see how your words are being made visual. and sometimes it's not quite right, but it's at that point that you are able then to be really specific and really go a little bit deeper into your brief. You're able to say, yeah, this kind of works, but actually I was hoping that this color was going to be the color that led. Or you can say, I need it to be bolder. The font is a bit too light, or something like that. Or, you know, I'm more into a heavier font. I'm not a lighter, you know, butterflies and flowers kind of person.
Because you're definitely not that type of person.
So when it comes to having a design come back to you, it's not the point where you should freak out. It's the point where you should have a conversation, and you can be much clearer in what you like and what you don't like. And then the designer knows more about what you like and what you don't like, and then goes away, makes a few tweaks, makes a few changes, even goes back to the drawing board if necessary, and then comes back with something that is more in line with what you had hoped for. Because, you know, when it comes to a brief, when all said and done, is just words, isn't it? It's not.
Exactly. And it's very difficult to actually take those words and put them into graphics and put them into color and, you know, get the right heaviness of the font and the right hue and the right this and that. It makes it hard, you know, especially if you don't really know the person, the personality behind the person.
Absolutely.
And that's really what branding is about, is understanding the personality.
Absolutely. And it's also, you know, sometimes the person who wrote the brief might not even understand exactly what they want until they get something visual back. You know, they might send a gallery of pictures, and then the picture that's selected by the designer, they're like, it's not actually my favorite picture, but I like the way that it's coming together. So then maybe then you go back and you suggest to the designer, I actually prefer this one, or this one. Could you try them in this design? Or something like that. Design is collaboration. And
absolutely.
And the thing about collaboration is you have to be open to communication, and you have to not sort of shy away from that. I know some people are, you know, a bit nervous maybe about going back and saying that they don't like something. You know, the kinds of people that, you know, are in a restaurant and the wrong meal comes out and they just eat it anyway rather than sending it back, because, you know, they don't want to make a fuss. It's not about, a design collaboration isn't about not making a fuss, because the designer isn't going to be happy with that outcome either.
No, 100%. I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, I give you my understanding of the brief, and you say, no, that's not going to work for me. So you then give me different words that I then interpret in a different manner, and so on and so forth. And it's very easy for ego to get in there. It's very easy for ego to get in there, and your hackles rise when your design is thrown out, or your hackles rise when I suggest that this is not going to work with whatever it is that you want me to do. So it's really understanding and knowing that it's about that collaboration. It's about that conversation that is backwards and forwards all the time. And, you know, it's a process. It's really just a process.
It's absolutely a process. You should see, when I'm working on a book, you've got first layouts, you've got second layouts, then you get to third layouts and you start thinking, oh, I'm close. So you write final at the end of them. And then you write final, and then final.
Final version 1 or final version 2.
Exactly. It's about to and fro, and it's about talking. I mean, you know, sometimes what do you do if you reach an impasse, Steph? Do you have a process where so when I work with a book designer, we probably have a kill clause. You know, if it gets to a point where we've gone back 2 or 3 times and it's not working out, and by mutual agreement, we come to a point where you know, there's some kind of contractual thing, like maybe 25% fee is paid or 50% fee is paid, depending on how far we get down the road. Do you have something like that in place with people when they work?
Erin, you know what? Truth be told, no, I actually haven't. I'm do or die. And yes, I have the standard, that standard in the design industry, from my understanding, that there would be a first draft, a second draft, then a third draft, and then the final image goes out. Yes, I stick to it for the most part, depending on how busy I am. But you know what? If I'm not that busy and the client is willing to hash this out because they don't want to go and brief another designer or have to design it themselves, you know, we carry on doing it. So I don't really have a do or die attitude when it comes to my design. I don't know, maybe I just understand. And because I also give you options. So with one design, you had 3 options for every single design that I gave you. So there we're able to take elements from number 1, elements from number 2, and a little bit from number 3, and put those together. So that helps in the process as well. And I think very few people actually do that. I don't know of many other designers who give you 3 options for one specific design. So if you ask me to do 5 designs, I'll give you 15 options, you know, 3 per design. So that's
your way around it.
That's my way around it.
Creativity is your way around it.
Yes, yes.
Excellent, excellent. Cool. All right then. Yeah. Well, this has been nice to chat. How long have we been talking? Probably too long for LinkedIn. Okay. Cool. Well, it's been so good to chat to you and catch up with you, Steph. And I know that you're doing amazing things and working with lots of clients. So how can people find you if they need help with their visual identity for their 5-day challenges?
I am very active over on LinkedIn, Erin. Thank you very much for that. Yes, LinkedIn is my main platform. I absolutely love it there. I'm there all the time. So I'm Stephanie Wiem, as you can see on the screen. I'm the only one of that name and last name on LinkedIn, so you definitely will not be able to miss me. Or reach out, send me an email, stephanie@simplyondemand.net. Simply On Demand is my company name, .net, and it's as easy as that. It really is. And if I don't understand it and you're happy for me to walk away, I will walk away. So we have that mutual understanding.
Fantastic. I'm over on LinkedIn as well, Erin Chamberlain, and you can find me on Facebook as well. I have a free group where I share trainings and the writing of my clients. It's called Right Now with Erin Chamberlain. So you can find me there as well. It would be lovely for us to connect there.